Derek Bruff also has another technique for group work in the Zoom era, in particular, since often faculty members like popping into the breakout rooms can kind of stifle conversation, or at the very least it interrupts conversation, right? So what he suggests is to use a Google sheet that all the students can edit. And basically you would put your questions in the rows and you would put the group numbers in the columns. And so students can go through, and they don't have to necessarily take, verbatim transcript notes about their discussion, but like the main point that they would address, what would they share out with the class if he asked them to for each of the questions. And it allows him to keep track of like where they are, see, okay, it looks like everybody needs more time to get to the last question. I'll give them an extra 10 minutes, or, push them to go a little faster if, time is running out and there isn't more time to give. But it also gives him a little bit of like a preview of what the responses are. It's collaborative, so everyone can see everybody's. It, serves as a resource afterwards. And I think for faculty who are doing, dual learning, which is an option that we have here at Rice, where, you might have students on Zoom and you might have students in person, you can't walk around to the groups anymore. So, there isn't really like a just pop over to the left side of the classroom and see what that group is doing. So it gives you this access into, what's happening in these rooms without interrupting, without being in people's, personal, social distancing, physical distancing space. And I think that's a great suggestion. I haven't had a chance to try it yet, but I'm looking forward to being able to do it.
Yeah, I must say I use those breakout rooms and started off using, instead of Google Sheet, which I think, the whole class could see the Google Sheet all at once. I use Google Slides and create a slide for each breakout room. And then there should be just looking at their slide, but of course they could flip to another slide, but that means that each one is working on that one slide, and I put it in full view or gallery view so I can see all 5, 10 slides, whatever at a time. And it is so cool to see the ideas moving out on paper, and then I'm able to see, group 5 has nothing on their slide at all. And so I'll pop in that group. Hey, any questions about, what I'm asking you here?
Right.
And it's sort of an early warning sign. And then when I can see, group 3 has this great point. When we get back together, I'm going to ask group 3 if they would, how'd you get to this part or something? It was really great. And Zoom brings really great opportunities, or, a digital meeting can bring some really great opportunities that, you're right, if we were in a classroom, we'd have to walk from one corner of the room to the other, and I can't hear what this group is doing or whatever.
Right.
And anyway, it was really fun. The first time I did it, I guess I'm easily amazed. So I was, whoa, this is so cool.
We did something similar. We have a graduate class on pedagogy that our center offers as part of a certificate in college teaching. And so we did that Google Slides activity. We also used Google Jamboards with our undergraduates and did the same kind of like replicating a gallery walk. And so each student's project, they each got their own, Jamboard, board with their topic. And then they went through and they just kind of cycled through and looked at each other's topics, and were able to put Post-it notes or doodles or handwriting on the screen. And watching all of that appear and like watching the collaborative nature of it, I think was really great. And I hope, I think they got a lot out of it too, right? You're getting to hear from so many more of your peers than you would if you were just in like a group of 2 or 3.
Yeah. And I used Jamboard kind of late to the game, near the end of the semester, used that. And I had some students who were like, that was really, really cool. I liked that a lot better than when we had just the breakout room. And we did it as a whole class Jamboard one time. And then, of course, I had other students that said, I really didn't like that Jamboard thing, whatever that was. So you're never going to satisfy all of the students. So that makes me think, all right, I'm just going to need to not preference one, and every day we're doing a Jamboard, but we'll do a Jamboard. Sometimes we'll do a silent meeting type of thing where we give more people time to think about what they want to say before they type it in. Another time we'll use the Google Slide or the Google Sheet, a la Derek Bruff.
Right.
So that's how UDL has sort of shaped my thinking. Is you're not going to please everybody all of the time, but you definitely don't want to keep pleasing the same people and excluding the same people with how you're choosing to use your tools.